Uh, we're going to go ahead and get started tonight. I know we still have people that are probably joining from the waiting room. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope you find this informational. And just want to say a big congratulations. You're in. You are an admitted student for the University of Arkansas. We are so excited that you're going to be a part of our freshman 2026 class. It is going to be a great one. And we look forward to seeing you in part of our graduation in just a few short years in 2030. That sounds so far away, but it's going to happen really, really fast. So, what are next steps that you need to do as far as to become a Razorback? There are some things that you can go ahead and do. So, as an admitted student, even though you're admitted, our scholarship decisions have gone out, continue to build that relationship with your admissions counselor. Now, out in the chat, we're going to have a little link that actually has all of our admissions counselors for Arkansas on there. You also can see who your admissions counselor is in your new student center, but we are still a great resource for you if you have any kind of questions about housing, parking, community organizations, organizations on campus, anything and everything. Reach out to your admissions counselor. Now, I know many of you listed questions when you register. We're going to try to cover as many of those that we can. If you put a question out in the chat tonight, and I hope you do, if you have a question, if we don't get a chance to answer it, please do take that question to your admissions counselor. They'll be happy to help you. Now, one of the big next steps is housing. As an admitted student, you can do a housing contract. And so many of you may have already completed that housing contract. You also may have done the next phase, which was the personal profile and choosing your meal plan. Your meal plan is flexible. You have chances to go in there and adjust it. You actually can adjust it up or down through the 11th day of class in the fall. And by that time, you'll be on campus for about 3 weeks. So you have some time to adjust it. You also, after the 11th class day, you can adjust it up. And then at the semester, you can change it again. So I really would kind of use that first semester, kind of choose the one you think is going to work for you, and then really kind of see how is it working out. Do you need to go up for the spring semester? Do you need to go down? But your meal plan is something that you can choose. Phase three is open now, and that's where you have roommate selection. So you can go out there and look at that list of compatible students for a roommate. You can go and search for username or ID for a student that you know that's also been admitted and has also done their housing contract. You can find them and you can bond as roommates, or you may want to just do a lottery and not bond with a roommate, and that's absolutely fine. If you're going to bond with a roommate, it is best to do it before housing selection. Housing selection is going to be starting late this month into April, into May. University of Arkansas Housing will reach out to you to your University of Arkansas email about 1 week ahead of time to let you know when your selection date and time is. So make sure you're watching both your application email and your University of Arkansas email for information. Another big thing that you can do is that you can select and register for your new student orientation date. This is an important event that's going to be happening this summer. It is a requirement for freshmen to attend new student orientation. You can select your date in your new student center. You can see that. You can register there. But if you want to just check out what is this orientation all about, there is a website for orientation. You can see an example agenda. You can find out how to prepare for orientation. You can find out what things you're going to be doing after orientation. One of the biggest things about orientation is that you're going to hear a lot of information about student services and things that are accessible to you and available to you as a student. But this is where you're going to finalize your fall classes. So you'll actually meet with academic advising or a professor from your academic college, and you'll leave with your full schedule for the fall. Now, speaking about orientation and classes, in February, we did send out a pre-enrollment survey to students that had registered for orientation. So if you're thinking, oh, I haven't registered for orientation yet, I'm going to do that tonight, great. Be looking for in a couple of days a pre-enrollment survey. And this is just helping us gather some information to help our staff at the school that makes the classes that our freshman class needs, helps them plan for that. But it also goes to our academic advising. And so some academic colleges may start to kind of pre-enroll you in some classes. That enrollment survey is going to include Have you taken concurrent classes? Which one have you taken? Are you planning to bring in AP exam with you, exam credit with you? And then that way they kind of know what classes may have already had or how many sections of things that we need. That pre-enrollment survey for those that have registered for orientation is going to be out there until around April 12th. And so we'd love for you to complete that. Now, if you, some reason you register for orientation after April 12th and don't get a chance to do that pre-enrollment survey, that is okay. That is all right. But like I said, if you can go ahead and register for orientation, do that survey, that really helps us plan for our freshman class. Now, before I get on to this next step, I did want to point out to you in the bottom of the screen that you're seeing, there is a STARS College Network logo. STARS stands for Small Town and Rural Students. University of Arkansas is part of the STARS College Network. We're a coalition of about 32 institutions from across the nation that our main focus is to make sure that small town and rural students have college access and resources that you need. And so we are very excited that you are a STAR student, a small town rural student, and we are so excited to welcome you onto the campus. And we're going to be talking about some ways to get connected in just a little bit. What's next? So outside of those housing, orientation, doing those things, what's next? Continue to apply for scholarships. So big one for Arkansas residents attending an Arkansas school is opportunities through the Arkansas Department of Education. So for example, the deadline for Arkansas Academic Challenge has not passed. You still have opportunities to apply for that. Make sure that you're doing that. We also have some outside source scholarships or a guide to outside scholarships from the scholarship office. So that's some national scholarship databases that you still may find opportunities for your freshman year, but those are great places to bookmark to make sure you're continuing applying for scholarships even into your sophomore year, your junior year, and even to your senior year. So as a University of Arkansas student, once you get to campus, there's going to be a university-wide scholarship that will open January 1st, 2027 through February 15th, 2027, and that will be for your sophomore year. So the opportunity to apply for scholarships continues, but there's still probably some that you can apply right now for your freshman year. Another great resource for helping fund school is completing your 2026-2027 FAFSA at studentaid.gov. So make sure you go out there, make sure you have completed that. This is an application you'll want to complete every single year. And so you definitely want to do it this first year, but you want to complete it every single year. There's also a great tool that we have on our treasurer's office that you can review, our tuition estimator. This kind of gives you just an idea of a per semester direct cost. So it's tuition, fees, an estimate for housing, and an estimate for your meal plan to get an idea what it could be prior to any scholarships, any financial aid, anything like that. Now, there was a great email sent out to you this afternoon, so maybe you've already seen it. If not, make sure you check your application email this afternoon. But it was all about how to use a tuition estimator, about completing the FAFSA, ways you can go out to your FAFSA application, kind of get an idea of what you're receiving. But that's a great resource, a great tool. You're going to be getting more information from our financial aid office soon, but I know we're getting a lot of questions about that, and that is a big question for students is, how am I going to pay for school, and when am I going to know what I owe? And so that's going to happen a little bit later in the summer, but this tuition estimator will give you kind of idea. And so you can use that and then start deducting those things that you know you have already or things you anticipate you may have so that you see if there is any unpaid balance or if there might be any kind of remaining balance. Now, I know one of the questions we had submitted with the registration is, well, can I do a payment plan for any unpaid balance? And you absolutely can. When you go to this tuition estimator page on our treasurer's office, there's also on the left, there's also information about payment plans. So that's definitely something you may want to check out and definitely something available for our students. Now, one of the good things you want to do is you want to start thinking about ways to connect with the University of Arkansas. We're going to have some that are coming out pretty soon. So I think Friday, you're going to start getting an invitation that's talking about our Headed to the Hill events. We're going to have two events. One is going to be in Little Rock, and then one will actually be in Fayetteville. And this is, we're going to bring a few of our departments like financial aid, scholarships, housing, orientation, and we're going to meet together. And it's just a time to talk about next steps, but also to meet some other people and other students from around the state that are coming to the University of Arkansas. So be watching out for those. There's going to be a landing page. You can register for either event. You don't have to come to both, just pick whichever one's closest to you. And that would be a really good time to come up, see some of the people, see some of the admission staff, see some departments, and also get to meet other students and make some connections for other students that are coming to the University of Arkansas. Another great thing is if you have never visited campus, now is a really good time to visit campus. You can go to visit.uark.edu, set up a tour. You may want to skip the admissions part. Just let us know that in the comments that, hey, I just really want to see the tour, or I really want to visit with this department that I let you know that I want to visit with. That's a really good thing to do. We won't be able to give you a housing tour. I know that's probably a hot topic and a hot area you want to see, but when you come for orientation, there will be some housing options available. It's just right now our rooms are full with students, and so in the summer we're going to have some room. So just know you'll be able to see some housing. May not be your exact residence hall, but because in case there's any that are closed this summer, but you're going to be able to see some housing options this summer too. Now, I've already mentioned this, but I want to stress it again. Do start checking your University of Arkansas student email on a regular basis. If you're unsure about how to access that email, make sure you've activated your student account, and then you're going to be able to go that. But if you go to our IT page, if you search Get Started, I think we're going to put the link out there. That is a great way to see how you can access your Microsoft student email account. If you can download that app, put it on the phone you're going to bring to school with you, set it up where you can get those notifications, that would be really, really great. Orientation will send information to your University of Arkansas student email and your application email. Admissions will send things to your application email. Office of Financial Aid and Housing is going to mainly communicate with you through that University of Arkansas student email. So you want to make sure that you're really connecting and checking that on a regular basis. Now, we have, as you've probably heard, as you talk to admissions counselors or seen an admissions presentation, we have a lot of registered student organizations. And so as an admitted student, you have access to check out Hog Sync. This is our platform where it has all of our organizations. You use your University of Arkansas username and password, the same thing you're logging into the housing portal with and to your email with. You can log in there and you can check out all the things that we have to be a part of. And I would encourage you to do that. It'll have the events, it'll have a contact for that organization. It may even show when they have their meetings, but find something that you're interested in, or find two or three things that you're interested in. Because when you do come to campus that week before classes start, you're going to have a week and you're going to have the opportunity to meet them in person. So go ahead and get an idea of what you might want to be involved in at the University of Arkansas. If you're a student that needs some accommodations or any kind of extra support, and maybe you had an IEP or you had a 504 plan in high school, we do have our Center for Educational Access. This is the office that you would register with. So if that's something you anticipate, like, hey, I had extra time on my test, or maybe I tested in a quiet place in high school and I really want to do that in college because I think that helped me be successful academically, this is the office that you would reach out to. I think we're going to have a link that we're going to put out there in the chat. So if you haven't registered with them, this is a really good thing to do. Along those same lines, if you're a student that has any kind of military educational benefits, you want to register with our Veterans and Military Affiliated Student Center to get those benefits going. Make sure you don't have any questions, or if you have questions, even how to get started, they can help you there. But that's a great resource that we have for you, okay? All right, some other student success resources that we have. This building right here is called the Core. Now, it looks like an old building, but it's actually one of our newest buildings on campus, but it houses so many great opportunities for our students. I don't know about you, but I know me, I was a first generation student. And so we have student support services and programs just for first generation students. And so we have a link to their page out there. You can check about first generation stories and programs and activities. If you're a first generation student, that means that you are the first person in your family that's going to be earning a bachelor's degree. And so you should come with pride and excitement that you're going to be changing your future and future generations. And so that's a great way to get connected and to find a community of people that are going to be similar to you and that are also going to be striving for those same goals. You may also want some mentoring. So we have peer mentoring through different departments. There's also some great opportunities for first generation students to have mentoring through the Honors College. You don't have to be a member of the Honors College, but if you are, congratulations and great. But they do have mentoring opportunities through there where you'll be paired with a faculty or a staff member who is also a first generation student and just can provide you some guidance to go through those first steps, be someone that you can connect with, that you can ask questions with, and that can just provide you that guidance. Now, we have a lot of student success opportunities out there. I did want to mention this one. So, in addition to our academic supports, learning supports, we do have SOAR, which is a strategic outreach, advocacy, and retention program. And these are just a few things that they do. If you're a student that's like, I really am not sure what I want my major to be, they have some major exploration and coaching. They're going to have some tools to give to you, first year transition programs to make that transition from high school to college, as well as some financial education programs, finding resources to help pay for school, maybe finding a part-time job on campus, learning how to budget, how to do those kinds of things. And they have their on-call hours in the court every weekday from 9 to 3. So you can walk in that building and say, hey, I need some help with this. And they're going to be there to help you through that. Now, I also want to tell you about something else that we're super excited about. I want you to save this date on your calendar. It's going to be Thursday, July 9th from 6 to 7. We are going to have a virtual meet and greet with current U of A STAR students. So these are other students that came from small town in rural areas. We did this for the first time last year, and it was such a great event. We had a panel of students that ranged from students that just finished their freshman year through their sophomore year, through their junior year, and it really was great for our incoming students to kind of hear from them about how they made those adjustments, how they connected with faculty members. It was really a great event. So I want you to mark your calendar for this date because we would love for you to join us and talk about that. Now, I also want to say that we hope that we see you here in just a few short years dressed in that black cap and gown, throwing that, whether that be in Bud Walton Arena or Barnhill, wherever you graduate. This is my information here. Please feel free to reach out to me specifically if you have questions about next steps. Your admissions counselors are a great resource as well. Once again, remember you have their contact information in the bottom of your new student center, as well as I didn't introduce her in the beginning, but Hillary is on here in this webinar here as well. She works a lot with rural students and STAR students. She's a great asset to our team and to our communications team. So a lot of these emails and invitations that you're getting, Hillary has a great part in making that for you. But we want to make sure that we open it up to any kind of questions if you want to put those in the chat. I think we've looked at some of these questions that you did submit. If, like I said, if you put something in the chat or there's something that we didn't address and you want to, now is a good time to ask those questions. And we're all ears. We're here for you.